Well, howdy, everybody. Teresa here, just me and the critters. It is November 9th, 2018, Friday. Charlie, it's okay. Stop. Charlie, enough. Friday afternoon. Charlie, young man, come here. He's hiding behind me, and you see the curtain moving? That's Charlie's tail. Charlie, come here. He's hiding behind the chair. Because thundering and lightning and raining. So, starting to get dark. It is 4:33 p.m. It is a cooler day out. I don't know what the weather is. Here, I can shrink it down to find out what it is. I know you're dying to know, right? Here, let me adjust this a little bit. Okay, there we go. It is 74 degrees, feels like 74. The high will only be 79 today. Low will be 54. Light rain showers, 80% chance of rain today. 94% humidity. Wind is 4 miles per hour. Light from the southwest. Sunrise was at 6:57 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:44. And tomorrow is only going to be 63 degrees. Low will be 46. But they don't expect any rain. So, good thing we got the heaters. I'm going to have to wear socks. It's a tragedy. And I'm so excited because next week, I don't remember which day, it's supposed to get pretty chilly, right? Even like tomorrow. Let's see. I have some long sleeve shirts. I have to dig a couple of them out because I only get to wear them once or twice a year. So, that's what's going on there. Don't look at my hair. I haven't done anything with it. I wanted to read you guys a post I just did on Facebook. I normally don't read you guys a post I do, and I normally don't post anything that's real personal. That's just I learned, years ago not to. But I want to read you guys a little bit of. I want to read you guys this post, and then I will explain it. Okay. And I used to write a lot, and I quit, and I think I'm going to start some. I come to you, my friends and family, quite humbled. I feel the need to explain a bit about me so that you might have more understanding about my actions or reactions to things emotionally and socially. I am admitting that I am a highly emotional person, very emotional. I have just learned over the years to hide that emotion from everyone pretty much except my husband. I am a social retard. I fully admit that, in part because of having Asperger's and also the way I was raised. I have the classic fight or flight stemming from PTSD from my childhood and first marriage. Basically, when I feel I am being attacked, I shut down. I cease to communicate or reach out to that person or persons. I cannot handle and have never been able to handle much stress. The hurry-scurry of even basic everyday life is often overwhelming to me. It fogs up my mind, and I have a mental breakdown of sorts. I retreat back into my shell, where it is safe. I tend to be afraid to even try to form friendships anymore because I fear not being understood and being attacked for things I cannot control. Believe me, I do try, but I am far from perfect. Socially, there are just so many things I do not understand. The mentality of acting like you like someone and care about them one day, and the next day spewing such hateful, venomous things at them or about them. Like I said, I am socially inept in the biggest ways. I stuff down my emotions, down with food. That is very evident. It is sadly one of the ways I cope. That and creating art. Why am I telling you all this? So that you might have a bit more understanding on what it is like to be a 54-year-old woman with Asperger's, PTSDs, and bipolar 2. It is easy to just not look into why someone reacts a certain way and judge. But really? That was a post that I put on my Facebook, and I even made it public. Because I'm not trying to hide And I thought about that a lot. And the reason I was moved to write that was, sometimes a relationship, whether it's family or a friend or something, just, fails in for whatever reason. And, you know, it takes two to make or break any relationship. And I see where I'm at fault for certain things. And it's never my intention to hurt anybody. And I want you guys to know that. I hate hurting anybody. I know what it's like to feel hurt. But from an early childhood on, especially I would have, if my mother got mad at me, she would say the meanest things to me. Things that you shouldn't ever say to a child. Like you wish they'd never been born, you hated them, they couldn't do anything right, etc., etc. And yeah, I'm 54 years old, but some of that stuff always remains ingrained with you. My husband and I have talked about that. He is much the same way with dealings he had with his father. And certain actions or things said always stay, in your formative years. And I know I am very socially crippled, okay? And I use the word retard, and maybe I'll edit that because I don't want anybody to be offended by that word. I don't mean that in a bad way. But I am very socially crippled. I don't understand so many of the basic, and they say people with Asperger's have a hard time forming and keeping friendships. And I think that's very true. It takes a special person to be able to um, be friends with you and understand. Luckily, Linda understands, and of course, my husband does, and a few other people in my life do. I'm not making excuses. I'm just explaining because, in my best intention to see my many many failings and correct them, I still am far from perfect, and I still, if I don't understand something mentally, I don't know how to understand it. My husband sees me struggle with it, even on some of the basic little concepts of just some of the basic little things, social graces. You know, if I like somebody, I like somebody, and I like them way past. Um, if we have a falling out, there's still parts of them I really like. I can think about numerous people and say, well, I really, really miss this about this person, or I really love this about that person, and I still see their worth, and I still see the beauty in them, and I mourn the loss of a friend or family member or whatever, but in my heart of hearts, that little girl inside me wants to protect me, and one way is, if you get your hand slapped away enough, even as a child, like reaching out for a mother or something, you stop reaching out and you get afraid to reach out. And I know I'm very socially damaged, and I really, really limit how much social interaction I have. I see, and this is a case in point where I don't know. You hate to put yourself, out there to even try, because you don't want to get hurt again by people saying very, very venomous things, and slamming you, and just, and I mean, I've learned to not do that back for the most part, because I used to do that back, and it's like, well, to hurt somebody back, that doesn't make any sense either. I mean, what kind of a person does that make me? And I guess I'm trying to explain it, and maybe I'm not making any sense. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight. So if you don't see me interacting as much, you know, that uh, is probably why. I'm going to kind of take a step away from stuff for a little bit. Right now, basically, all I really want to do is do painting and stuff. I went in and did a lot of painting. I went in twice yesterday and painted. Kind of need that art therapy. And kind of lick my wounds and recenter and try again. But please forgive me, guys, if I seem like I don't care, because I do. And I try really hard, okay? I don't know where that middle ground is. Because either it's like, maybe it seems like I'm not trying hard enough, or I seem like I'm trying too much. I don't want to bug anybody. I don't want to pester anybody. I don't want anybody to think I'm in their face, but then I don't want you to think I don't care. And I don't know where that middle ground is. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand. I mean, it's like, as a child, I was always made fun of for being emotional, and the answer back in those days was put me on very high doses of Ritalin. I mean, I was like zonked out. I mean, I was on such high doses, like I had to take. I remember, and this was great. I take a pill in the morning. I had to go down at lunch and take another pill, and then I had to take a pill when I got home. It was like, you know, um, kind of like my mother didn't want me to be emotional or anything. And of course, you were taught never to display any emotion, no, not even any hugging. So, I have to say, I love people and stuff, but sometimes too, with the daily grind of life, I can't keep, I can't keep up the pace. Okay, when my day gets really full, I feel overwhelmed. I feel like it's a vicious circle that I haven't even had a chance to sit and breathe. And I know a lot of people are far busier than me, and they handle it with such grace. It isn't me, though. That isn't me. I can't handle it. Not only do I get sick physically, I get sick mentally. I can't handle it. I feel like I'm not having any time to create. I feel like I'm not having any time with my spouse. My spouse is number one. And another reason, like, there are certain reasons why I had to quit selling jewelry. And it didn't have anything to do with who was my sponsor. It didn't have anything to do with the company itself. It had to do with me personally. I was not having the time to create that I wanted to have. I can't keep up physically or emotionally with trying to keep the housework done, do create, have time to make hats, because that's a commitment I made. Because like this month now we're on day 20. Those all those other hats were mailed out yesterday. Um, and wasn't I just was not enjoying it because it felt too much like a normal job to me, where I feel like I am a mouse running on a wheel, and I mean, I was doing fine with it and stuff. So, I mean, I don't want anybody to get this all twisted, okay? Like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about who my sponsor was, anything bad about the product itself. It's just me personally. One of the things I want you guys to understand, because I don't know if the rumor mill is going and whatever. I mean, whatever people want to say is whatever people want to say. It is not a simple case of, well, my husband can step in and help. He does, okay? But my husband really, really struggles with, number one, the diabetes, you know, much more than I do. He's on a lot more medicine for it than I am. And with the amount of pain he is in, my husband is not able to do quite a few things in the house that I have to do them because, we're a team and there's certain things I can't do that he does. There's certain things that I can only do that he can't do. He works full time. He's been working closing shifts and stuff. All of this just, it just wasn't a good fit. Just wasn't a good fit. I gave it a try. I didn't know it was going to be a big thing that I thought, well, I'll try it, and if I like it, great, and if it fits into my lifestyle, great, and if my household is all happy and stuff, great, you know, and then if I don't find it something I want to keep doing, I'll quit. You know, I kind of had a little bit of a mental breakdown. You guys know we just lost our dachshund. Well, what you don't know is how bad she had gotten. And, for a good the last 2 weeks, especially that she was around, it was almost like a constant care. It was like almost a constant care of a very elderly person. Between the diaper changes, taking her out, cleaning up, she was sneezing a lot and spraying blood and stuff. You know, the bleeding would stop, or else we would have taken her right in. But it was getting worse. She was having seizures, a lot of confusion, massive amounts of confusion. As much as the vet can tell us is he thinks that she had Cushing's disease, which is the same thing that Daisy Humphreys Heidi had, I think. And also, she had tumor in her nose that we didn't know about. Um, she was 16. But just the stress and the strain and stuff. Like I said, I usually will have a little bit of a breakdown after. I'm a great in the time of the crisis, and then as soon as that's over, I will kind of just crumble. And, I did what I had to do to keep myself from going over the edge. Something had to give. And, my husband needs me. My other pets need me. I have the commitment to the hats. I have a commitment to myself on my artwork because I waited until my kids were raised and grown out of the house and stuff to finally, you know, have time and be able to set up. You can't set up an art studio when you have kids unless you can close that door, you know, stuff. And I just wanted to kind of explain. I mean, I mourn the loss of every friendship, but sometimes it's just not salvageable, and all I can do is just pray for them and wish them well, and that's what I do. And then I'll remember the fun, and I'll remember, you know, um, caring and loving them and stuff, and that won't stop. I just wanted to give a little bit of insight what it's like inside my head. It's not an excuse. It's just like I said, insight. I do the best I can. I'm trying not just go into a whole series of self-loathing and stuff. You know, I struggle this time of year anyway, and I can't afford to get super, super depressed and stuff. I don't want to have to go on more medication. Been fighting a UTI, which is not going away. I got put on antibiotics Monday, which is a different kind of an antibiotic than I've been taking, and it's not doing anything. So I was hoping to hear from my doctor today, but I don't think she's in today, so I have to wait till next Monday. See, she only gave me like a 5-day supply. You take this twice a day. It's a low dose anyway. And it's ciprofloxacin, and it doesn't do anything for me. But there was one refill, so I went ahead and got it. I got to have something to kind of tide me over through the weekend. And then I'm going to get with her Monday. I'm sure she's going to refer me to a urologist, which is fine. Yes, time to get that addressed because this is what happens when I have to take the water pills and stuff because they are so hard on my kidneys. Every time I seem to have to do that, then I get, but we'll get it figured out. Brad's in a lot of pain, guys. Ton of pain. I felt bad for him. He could hardly walk last night. It's between his back and his hip. It's just killing him. So we have to go to the store tonight. He gets off work here in about 7 minutes. And because it's the only night that he's not closing. And we were going to go on Monday. But Mondays, when we hit Walmart, there's not anything left. Yeah, so I'm going to do that tonight real quick. Probably pick up something. And just go from there. But I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so very much. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to me. Try to explain a little bit more of what's in the inside workings of this wacky mind and stuff. For all my failings and stuff, having high functioning, uh, being on a high function autism spectrum and stuff. And I'm I tested a high IQ, and I can get some of the hardest things, but then some of the simplest things, like social stuff, I don't get. I don't get. So I fell at him. So I'm sorry for that. I am how God made me. I keep trying to improve. I'll never be done improving, but I'm just trying to be straightforward because I know there's other people like that with me. It was like the other day I was watching Wendy Bendy Boo, I think is her name. Forgive me if I got your channel name wrong. I doubt she watched it anyway. And she talked about she doesn't like people at her house. She's more than happy to meet somebody somewhere else, but she doesn't really like people in her house. I'm the same way. I don't really like people to come to my house. I would be more than happy to meet you for a cup of coffee or something. Yeah, I don't really like that. I mean, I'd have to know you really well. It's like, think of two people right off the bat that I know well enough that I would let in my house, and that would be Mr. Cross's boss is his channel name, Yedamar Cross. And he's been in our RV before he came to see us, and then it would be Linda. And there's other people that I would, like Nirvana, and she even mentioned me in her video not long ago. She talked about wanting to come to Florida. Her mama lives here. She's over in Korea with her wife right now. And she even mentioned she'd like to meet me, and I teared up on that. I teared up on that. Because I'm nothing special. I let her in though. I know she comes from a very humble beginnings with didn't even have like running water and stuff when she was a kid. And I would probably let Carol, because I really love Carol a lot. Um, Anybody else, if I haven't mentioned you, it doesn't mean I wouldn't, but I'd probably want to meet you outside my home first because I don't know. I guess I always worry about being judged by my home, you know. But, it's funny because I was laying in my art studio. Once you touch my stuff, don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my paint. So, anyway, I'm going to get off here. I need to go get dressed, put a bra on, put a holster on, a boobinator, a breasticle holder on. So we can go to the store. Remember, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship. I'm just keeping it real, like always. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a great weekend. I will probably do comment reading either later tonight or tomorrow. So, yeah. So, be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Remember that I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.